Hello, hello. This is your host, Sheraz Ahmed, ready to kick off another bite-sized episode of the Crypto Valley Association podcast. Let's discover together the growing trends of this fast-moving space and try to shed some light on the mysteries it contains. Today, we are joined by Stuart Petersen, Chief Revenue Officer at Algotrader, an algorithmic trading platform that enables trading firms to rapidly develop, stimulate, deploy, and automate any quantitative trading strategy for any market. So let's dive straight into the hidden world of algorithmic trading. Stuart, thank you for joining us. How is everything?
It's great. Thank you very much, Raz, for inviting me today. Today, luckily, in the United Kingdom, it is a very sunny day today. We've got over all the winds and the storms of last weekend, and so therefore my internet connection is working perfectly, and I'm really pleased to be able to talk with you and the team today.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us. And how about we start this off then by talking a little bit about yourself and how you first got into the blockchain technology space.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a circuitous and long winding road. I mean, my career in financial services started off at the end of the 1980s, and it was my first 7 years was in fund management. And ended up being a fund manager for 3 years. Didn't like the lifestyle at that particular point in time, and long story short, ended up working in financial technology before it even became fintech many years before that, and spent pretty much 25 years building and growing quantitative finance and risk management technology companies in Canada and the US, mainly focusing on big banks, tier 1, tier 2 banks, big asset managers, life insurers, and so my career has been really around the front and the middle office, and I was always fascinated about technology that could actually help our funds, execute better, make better investment decisions, and that's always achieve best price execution. Particularly now we've had MiFID II come into play. Personally, I'd been investing in looking in crypto for a number of years, and invested in a crypto mining business about 4.5, 5 years ago also. So that really kind of piqued my interest in the crypto market. So, when the opportunity came to, work alongside the fantastic team at Algotraders, both on the traditional asset and on the crypto side or digital asset side also, it was literally a no-brainer for me.
Well, wonderful. And yes, congratulations on being nominated at the Top 100 Startup Awards just recently and being among the top 2 fintech scale-ups in Switzerland. It's great to hear. So maybe you can give us some insights into what Algotrader is doing and your platform.
Yeah, no, great. That's a great point, and thank you very much for the congratulations. It's always well received to get a recognition in the industry. From our perspective, we started off by actually solving a real world business problem. And I've always believed that, the best technology and solutions have always been actually solving a business problem that you have today, which you live with every single day. And then if we roll back about 10 years, my colleague and Andy Fleury, who's the co-founder and CEO of Algotrader, was a partner in his own hedge fund in Zurich, and they were trading VIX futures, complex options, but they were a quantitative fund. And to that extent, putting together all of that technology that you needed to build quantitative trading strategies, to be able to test them, or what we call back test them, to then simulate them in live market. So not actually executing, but actually simulating how they would perform with live market data. And then from there, then actually trading programmatically and then executing those trades. He couldn't find that one single piece of technology that would actually solve his end-to-end business problem. So he ended up building a version of Algotrader and realized that he had a piece of technology that nobody else had at that point in time. And that led him to actually move from being a hedge fund manager into starting up a financial services or fintech company, solving the real world business problems for both quantitative trading and also for algorithmic trading.
Okay, great. And so when you talk about quantitative algorithmic trading, what do you really mean? I feel like there's a lot of complexity in that, a lot of misconceptions. So what is it more concretely?
Thank you. That's a great point. And there's a lot of misnomers in the industry. I mean, if you Google quantitative trading, you Google algorithmic trading, you get different responses, and some of them are also overlapping as well. So it can be confusing about what the two are. And I think that the simplest way to look at it is quantitative trading is effectively what we call programmatic trading. Okay, it means, or systematic trading, where you are taking signals or events and a program will automatically generate an order to buy or to sell, for example. And then once you've generated that order, you then need the ability to automatically execute that order as well. So within quantitative trading, you also have algorithmic trading. Algorithmic trading is more around what we call discretionary funds, right? Where an order is brought in by somebody wants to buy or to sell, but you want to then achieve best price execution. And to be able to achieve that, you use what we call an execution algorithm to actually push that order out into the market to achieve that best price. Generally speaking, an execution algorithm will break up an order into multiple sub-orders or lot level or child orders, and then work those orders over a period of time or volume based upon the actual algorithm that you have deployed. You can also then implement something called smart order routing, which allows you to actually push an order across multiple counterparties or liquidity venues or exchanges as well. So in essence, quantitative trading is effectively the programmatic order generation and programmatic order execution. Algorithmic trading is effectively the programmatic order execution.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that concise definition there. And so if we move on to the Algotrader platform and what you're doing within that, and your clients are able to trade cryptocurrencies, how has that side of the business been doing? How long has it been about for?
Absolutely. That's another really good question. So thanks for that leading question. So Algotrader is a 7 to 8 year old fintech. As I said, Andy spun Algotrader out of his previous hedge fund. But about 5 years ago, we were approached by the early crypto funds, because we are Zurich based, we are Crypto Valley. We were approached by them to solve the complex and range of issues around both quantitative trading, so the quant side of it, but also to simply be able to provide reliable connectivity to different exchanges or liquidity venues as well. So in respect of the crypto, we're actually an old fintech, right? Today at being 5 years old into that business, but we've all obviously learned a lot about the nuances and the differences between traditional asset quantitative and algorithmic trading versus crypto quantitative and algorithmic trading as well. So today as an organization, we provide solutions for both quantitative funds, as I said, also known as systematic, programmatic, or event-driven trading, but also as well as discretionary funds as well. So for who require our technology for order management, execution, and connectivity to venues as well. And this is obviously both for traditional assets, but what we're talking about today here is for the crypto and digital assets. In addition to that, probably about a year to year and a half ago, we were starting to be approached by a number of banks to help them meet their client growing needs for crypto trading. We don't get involved in custody or storage. We are a trading order management platform as well, in addition to the quant side of it, to help them effectively achieve best price execution. And Signal Bank, as you probably know in Zurich, was one of the world's first digital asset and crypto banks. They actually implemented our technology to help them efficiently execute and achieve best price execution for their clients. Also, with the range of counterparties or liquidity venues or exchanges they were connecting with. And that actually led us as an organization to realize that not only were we becoming very confident about the growth of Algotrader in the digital asset and crypto space for buy-side, except around crypto funds, but also to actually solve those pain points on the banking side. And therefore that led us to actually launch our new brand about 4 or 5 months ago called Wireswarm. And Wireswarm is effectively a solution to help banks efficiently connect with the ultimate source of liquidity to achieve that best execution for their trading activities for their clients. Sheraz.
Okay, well, great. Well, congratulations on that, and that sounds very interesting as well. And maybe connecting this to another podcast episode that we had, where we had Maxime come on from Sentiment, and they do a lot of sentiment trading, and we know that within the crypto space, a lot is based around sentiment. What are your thoughts about the differences between the crypto space, the digital asset space, and maybe some of the other more traditional spaces whereby we've seen a lot of the cryptocurrency spaces being heavily impacted by emotion and FOMO, the fear of missing out, and other variables?
Thank you. I think that where the industry is going, both in traditional assets, but particularly around digital assets and cryptos, is that traditional trading was based upon a sentiment that somebody had to buy or to sell, right? Mm-hmm. Within quantitative trading, you are using events or signals, whether that's a price, the price going down, or a technical indicator to, if it goes below a certain level, where do I buy or do I sell? And therefore there's an order that's actually generated from there. But what we're actually been seeing over the last couple of years is the rise of AI, or what I would generally call natural language processing, right? Or natural language understanding, to take unstructured data or alternative data to be used as an input into decision making as well. So sentiment analysis is obviously one of those big areas that a lot of the funds today are deploying in order to help them gain that competitive edge, as opposed to using traditional signal movements like price or technical indicators. But it is a real growing industry.
Okay, great. And so following through on that growth perspective, where do you see Algotrader growing within the cryptocurrency blockchain space?
So I see us growing very well, both on the buy side and on the sell side. And that's the reason I said that we created the Wireswarm brand for Algotrader. So if we just took the buyer side for a second, what we've actually noticed over the last year and a half, there, based upon the price and changing the volatility of different cryptocurrencies and also tokenization of assets, we're now seeing a lot of funds that are coming to market now. There was a lull probably about a year ago, but I'd say in the last 6 to 7 months, and I'm not sure whether that's completely correlated with COVID, but we have definitely seen there's been a huge rise in the number of startup and scale up crypto funds who are coming to markets, not just in Europe, but also importantly in the Asia Pac region and also in the US. The US has traditionally been the biggest market for the hedge fund industry or the alternative asset industry, and we are seeing that growth also in the Americas with regards to the crypto funds. So that's one part of our business. The other part of our business in the crypto business is Wireswarm. And as I said, that solves those needs that the banks have. And we're definitely seeing a growth in certain jurisdictions globally where there have been friendly regulatory environments for crypto and digital asset trading. So, for example, Switzerland, Germany, in January you had the BaFin regulation around the ability for banks to become crypto custodians. Singapore, Hong Kong, and obviously the OCC declaration a couple of months ago back in the US. We're now seeing that there's a lot of banks in the US who are coming to market and saying, we want to meet our clients' needs for buying and holding and storing cryptos and digital assets. You, with your technology, is one component of them. So we're definitely seeing a rise both on the buy side and also on the sell side.
All right. Well, yeah, very, very exciting stuff there. And so this is one that I always like to ask our guests, is if they see the potential for incorporating blockchain technology within their current company. So we know that you're trading with blockchain-based companies and cryptocurrencies, but are you looking to maybe in the future incorporate blockchain technology within Algotrader?
We haven't made that conscious decision yet. I mean, our technology is really to help, on the quantitative side, to help funds define their quantitative trading strategies, to test them, and to execute them as well. And then obviously on the discretionary side and on the execution side, we are helping financial services institutions to be able to efficiently execute those trades to achieve best execution. We haven't actually seen a real need within our core technology stack today to implement a DLT-based architecture. I'm not saying that will not happen, as we're seeing with the exchanges, both in the crypto and digital asset space, and I believe will happen over time in the traditional asset space as well. You're seeing a move to a DLT stroke blockchain type of technology environment, which I believe is going to be critical for the future of the financial services industry, but also very beneficial for the growth of the Algotrader company.
Okay, well, thank you. And now if we move on a little bit to your position within Algotraders as Chief Revenue Officer, maybe you can tell us a little bit about how this whole coronavirus situation has impacted your business, and if you've had to change your approach at all.
Well, me personally, I haven't been able to leave the UK and get to Switzerland every week. So there's been a bit of a change for me. But in terms of our business, it's very much been business as usual. We've actually seen a huge growth in our business. Where we were initially concerned that we were launching Wireswarm for the sell side to the institutional sell side community around about the time that COVID actually hit and everything became locked down, we were concerned that maybe we wouldn't get the market brand awareness and also the connectivity with the banks who are looking at innovation deployment programs. Banks generally buy in cycles. They generally have worked with their suppliers, and you have to go in and meet and have demos. And banks really traditionally didn't work in a virtual environment. But what we've actually seen is that because the way the industry is changing, it's so fast paced and fast moving, and ultimately any financial services institution, Sheraz, will always meet what the needs of customers are. We've seen banks go to market to look for our technology, and they are working, in a distributed way where they are working from home. They're having to find solutions. So, they've adopted Zoom and Teams and other technology. So we are definitely seeing the buying process continue within the sell side, which is great for us. If we then look at the buy side, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we've seen a huge growth in the number of crypto funds come to market, as I said. And it's not just been in the US or in APAC or in Europe, it's been distributed globally where we've seen these funds come to market. So the benefit I see for us is that irrespective of COVID and how long this will last for, business is carrying on as usual. And I am seeing businesses looking at the current market and looking at the disruption that's happened with COVID and seeing new business models, new business ideas, and actually taking probably the plunge to actually set up their own crypto funds. So a lot of these guys are coming out of the traditional asset market, whether they've been in multi-asset class or whether they've been in FX. They are moving that subject matter into the crypto and digital asset space to position themselves for the future growth in the DLT market.
Okay, well, that's great to hear your positivity on that front, right? With all the kind of doom and gloom that we're hearing with the whole coronavirus situation, it's great to hear that positivity, and great to hear that Algotraders is been doing well and growing from it as well. And so as we approach the end of the episode here, maybe you'd like to give our audience your future vision of the blockchain space as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. And the question a few minutes ago about where do we see our technology, and will it become blockchain or DLT enabled? As I said, I don't see our core technology stack being DLT enabled in the next short while. However, what I have a vision of is that crypto is really effectively phase zero in the way that DLT and blockchain will disintermediate and disrupt the financial services industry. Where I see this is really growing into what I call phase one, is really the digitization of traditional assets, where you then can have fractional assets, where all of the traditional exchanges will have to move over to a DLT-based, blockchain-based environment. That is going to help trading immensely, simply because you will remove a lot of the credit risk, the counterparty risk involved in traditional asset trading. Today in equities, even you can buy and sell within 10 minutes. You still have T+2 in terms of settlement as well. And that's really based on 40 or 50-year-old working practices and architecture. So what DLT will do is to disintermediate that and really allow trading and investment decisions to happen and to be made instantly and immutably as well. So what we are doing as our vision is not just building the connectivity to the crypto exchanges and liquidity providers, but also building out in the nascent connectivity to the digital asset exchanges that are starting to come to market.
Okay, very interesting. Maybe just rebounding off of that, how do you see the traditional players acting or even reacting to that disintermediation, as they will be left potentially without a job?
Yes, we have. I think what we're seeing with the market in Switzerland with SDX, or the Sixth Digital Exchange, looking to bring its digital asset exchange to market, and what you're seeing with Börse Stuttgart and other exchanges around the world who are looking at innovation projects to say, how do we take advantage of this DLT-based network infrastructure technology? How's it going to benefit us? How's it going to benefit our clients? How's it going to benefit the future of financial services? So for me, what we're seeing is that there will be these early adopters, and the early adopters are, the forward thinkers, the disruptors, the chance takers, the people who've been involved with the crypto space, who are then moving to go from often crypto exchanges to digital asset and tokenization exchanges. But then I believe you will see the rush of everybody else in the traditional asset space coming to market, right? It's just that it's a technology adoption change that will change the way that trading, investment management, and all of those other ancillary business units will be done.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Stuart, for those fascinating insights. And is there anything else you might like to share with our audience before we have to close off today?
I think the only thing from our side is that what we have seen as an organization, both across the buy side and the sell side, is this requirement for a lot of institutions to achieve that best execution as well. I mean, even though cryptos today are not under like MiFID II, we're not sure. We're hoping that will become part of a regulatory regime at some point in the future. I mean, some people never want that to be, but if you look at the evolution of finance, it probably will be regulated in some way, shape, or form. And I think what we are finding is that a lot of institutions want to have the transparency of understanding that they always got best price execution for their clients, right? They don't want it to be in a non-transparent way. They want to make sure that they traded with X, but if they traded with Y or Z, that they would not have got the best price at that particular point in time. So what we are seeing is that institutions want to be able to deal with the ultimate source of liquidity, but also have the flexibility to achieve that best price, but to be ultimately in control. And we're seeing that really strongly on the buy side, but also on the sell side.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. And there you have it, folks, a little bit of demystification of quantitative and algorithmic trading. And if you enjoyed this conversation, well, feel free to check out more on our website, cryptovalley.swiss, where we host plenty of events, educational content, and even provide information on how you can join our growing community. So thanks again, Stuart, for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, Sheraz, and thank you so much for inviting me and Algotrader.
Thank you, and stay tuned, stay safe, and until next time from the Crypto Valley in Switzerland.